Following the incident, the NAACP held a fundraiser for the boys' family. However, 3 families actually came forward. The correct family was eventually identified and is receiving the funds.
Wait a minute. Hold the heck up real quick. Did you guys just hear that? Multiple families came forward claiming that they were the victims of Shiloh Hendrix. We've been sitting here for weeks, waiting to hear from this family, waiting to see this family. And it turns out behind the scenes, multiple families are claiming that their kid is the one that was called the N-word. Now, in that news clip, they say that they were able to figure out who the family was, right? In that news clip, they claimed that they figured out who the family was, but I can confirm through other sources that there is an investigation still ongoing to try to figure out who the family and who the kid really is. Now, I want you to think about that for just a moment. So many people came forward claiming that they were the victims, that their kid was the one that was called the N-word. So many people came forward that law enforcement had to open an investigation just to figure out who this family is, and they still have not officially confirmed who this family is. They still, at the time of this recording, don't know for sure. And if you want me to take it even one step further, that same news outlet that just reported that they did determine who the family was, that same news outlet put out an article after they aired that news clip. They put out an article with an update, updating people to let them know, hey, the investigation is actually still ongoing to figure out who the family is. Now, ain't that some right? Who would have guessed that all of these different families would come forward, all of them, desperately wishing that it was their kid that was called the N-word? Wait a minute, folks. I thought that this was a tragedy. I thought that this was a traumatic situation. I thought that calling someone the N-word, well, at least if you're white, calling a black person the N-word, I thought that was worse than literally stabbing someone in the chest. So why is it that so many families want to be the family that was victimized? If getting called the N-word is so bad, then why are all of these families coming forward wanting to be the victim? Wanting their kid to be the one that was called the N-word. It's my kid. No, it's my kid. No, it's our kid. Ain't that crazy? But you want to know what's even crazier? We've gotten multiple statements from this family now. I believe 3 or 4 to be exact. Yet, law enforcement doesn't even know who this family is. How are we getting statements from this family every week or every few days when no one even knows for sure who the family is? So who in the heck is releasing these statements? I just put a video out earlier, go watch it if you haven't already, about another statement that was released by this so-called family. They're releasing whole statements, but we don't even know if it's the right family. The police don't even know. But hey, it gets worse. Of course, we've gotten these statements, and we don't even know where they're really coming from. I told you guys, I think they're fake ChatGPT statements that are being made by like the NAACP or something, who are pretending that they know who the family is. Which, by the way, The NAACP claims that they've been in contact with the family this entire time. But if that's the case, then law enforcement should know who the family is. How is it that the NAACP has been claiming since day one that they've been in contact with the family? They've even started multiple GoFundMes raising hundreds of thousands of dollars for this family. When now we know, now it's confirmed, that no one has been able to officially confirm which family is which and who is who. And who's really the victim here. Who was really called the N-word. Isn't this crazy? And listen, I know a lot of you all had your suspicions and I had mine. I've been calling this stuff out for weeks. So when I find this news out, it feels kind of good because I wasn't suspicious for no reason. I mean, it was evidently clear that they were trying to hide something here. But it turns out the whole entire neighborhood is just pretending that they're the family. It was our kid. It was our kid. Everyone just wants their kid to be the one that was called the N-word. So law enforcement is still trying to figure out who these people are. Meanwhile, I guess all of the statements that we've gotten, who knows if it's from the real family, impersonators, or if the statements are just completely made up by the NAACP. That's what I think. And now, I mean, if law enforcement is investigating to figure out who the family is, they need to investigate why the NAACP has raised all of this money without even knowing who they're raising the money for, while lying to the public that they know. If the NAACP really knew who the family was, the police would not need to conduct an investigation. But wait, folks, let's take it one step further again. What about the Somalian guy that caught everything on camera? What about the cameraman? You know, the creepo that was accused of doing things with underage girls? The charges were dropped. But if you know how the law works up in Minnesota, if you know about these woke judges, that doesn't mean the guy's innocent. But shouldn't he be able to confirm who the kid is? I mean, you caught the whole thing on video, and you can't confirm to law enforcement, hey, this is the kid. Like, shouldn't that be easy? Just bring the creepo in and say, hey, is this the family? Is this the kid that was called the N-word? But for some reason, they can't do that. Now, mind you, it's not like the Somalian cameraman is in hiding. He's been at multiple protests. He's been at the city hall meetings, speaking in front of dozens of people. So why can't he confirm who the family is? So yeah, folks, there's something definitely wrong going on here. Something ain't right here. And I'm wondering if any of these families that law enforcement is looking into, I'm wondering if any of them is the actual family. Because I don't think the kid was a 5-year-old autistic child. So in order to keep up this lie, they need to produce a 5-year-old autistic child. Not a 13-year-old, not a 12-year-old. They need a 5-year-old with autism, right? And it looks like they just don't have one. So you never know what family may step forward with a 5-year-old kid that's going to claim it's their kid. Because I don't know if a family with a 13, 12, and 11-year-old, wonder if the real family doesn't step forward because they know that the story has been off since the beginning when it comes to age and mental condition or what have you. And I pointed this out on a prior video, and yeah, I probably need to make an entire video about it, but there's a lot of scams going on in Minnesota, especially coming from the Somalian community. There's actually an autism scam. that they've been running for years there, where these Somalian immigrants, they pretend like their kids have autism, and then they get access to certain benefits, money, what have you. It's complicated and it's boring to explain, and I would need like 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an entire video or two to fully explain it. But you guys can go down the rabbit hole. I'm not pulling this out of my behind or out of the side of my fat neck. This stuff, you could go do your own research if you would like. But yeah, there's a lot of scams going on in that area. And this feels like another kind of scam. I'm wondering if this kid was out here purposely pickpocketing, going through people's stuff. What was he working for an adult? I don't know. There's something shady going on here for sure. And I don't think that Shiloh is part of the shadiness. I think it has something to do with maybe even the cameraman. I don't know. But you know that there's a lot of scams going on in the area when law enforcement has to open a whole investigation just to figure out who the family is, because so many people are coming forward desperately wanting their kid to be the one that was called the N-word so they can bask in the spotlight. And that just shows you there's nothing traumatic about this experience for these people. They view this as a meal ticket. In what world, if something bad did not happen to your kid, in what world would you wish that it did? I want my kid is the one that was traumatized. So this entire community that's acting like they're so scared, they're having these protests. They're so scared. Oh my God, this white lady said the N-word. Oh my God, how are we going to live? Meanwhile, when the cameras are off, hey, it's us, we were called the N-word. It's my kid was called the N-word, look! Just wanting to be the one, hoping that a white lady walks by and calls them the N-word so they can become the victim. They're wanting to be the one in the story, right? Weird stuff. But that's what's happening, folks. And I'm glad that this has finally been confirmed, because we were wondering, and I knew something wasn't right. And it's obvious now. The cat's out of the bag. They can try to pretend all they want. Even if they did, somewhere down the line, it has not happened yet, but even if they did somewhere down the line determine who the actual family is, I probably still wouldn't believe it. But that would not change the fact that after this happened, all of these families came forward wanting to be the one, right? And that just really shows you what this is all about. It's not about trauma. It's not about, oh my God, oh my God. It's not about none of that, okay? It was never about any of that. It was never about feelings. No, it was never about any of that, people. And this should show you. Because if it was really about trauma and stuff like that, you wouldn't have people coming forward pretending that they were the ones that were traumatized, folks. So, who knows if they'll ever determine who this family is. But what I want to know is who in the hell is releasing these statements then? I understand you're still trying to figure out who the family is, but at the very least, you need to figure out who in the hell is releasing these statements, because why should we be hearing from a family when you don't even know if that's the right family? So who is releasing these statements? Who is all of this money being released to? Why is the NAACP raking in all types of money and starting multiple donation accounts and GoFundMes? Why are they doing this when they don't even know who the family is? It's just a bunch of people trying to cash in on white guilt. You got this whole entire community in Rochester, Minnesota, the whole Somalian community. They want to cash in on the white guilt. The NAACP, they want to cash in on the white guilt. Everyone wants to be the one that was called the N-word so they can cash in. It's insane. But at least we know now why after all of these days, all of these weeks, we still haven't seen a single photo, a single video. We have not yet really officially heard from this family. We keep thinking that we're hearing from the family with these fake little statements, but now we know that those aren't truthful as well. So, I mean, I don't know if there's anyone out there even reporting on this. I think I might be the only one that's picked up on this. So please share this video so we can spread the word about this. And if you support the channel, consider supporting the channel in one of many ways, like liking the video, sharing the video, commenting, subscribing. And if you would like to donate, you can donate via Cash App or Super Thanks. Help keep the lights on around here. Help keep the channel running. Because this platform doesn't like when I expose stuff like this. They don't like when you ask real questions. They want us here talking about a bunch of nonsense that doesn't matter. They don't want us focused on things like this. They want us going along with the mainstream media narrative. They don't want us poking holes in the narrative. But it's crazy that all it takes, literally, these media outlets are contradicting themselves. They'll say on the news, because they know no one reads anymore, they'll go on the news and they'll say one thing, yeah, the family was able to be identified. And then in the news article they drop the next day, they say, oh wait, the family hasn't been identified, there's still an investigation going on. But I guarantee you, they don't want the news spreading that there's all of these families coming forward because that shatters their victim narrative. They don't want this news getting out there because these media outlets have been sharing these statements from the family for over a month now, and it turns out no one knows who the family is. So the media has egg on their face right now, and they're kind of just blowing right past it like it's nothing. Right? Like we're going to forget that you guys have reported on multiple statements released by this family. We're supposed to forget that ever happened? I haven't forgotten. So they got some explaining to do. Will they explain? No. Will people demand that they explain? No. But once again, they've been caught in the act, desperate to spread hate for white people, but not desperate enough to stick to the truth about what's going on here. Constantly misleading people to the point that they're releasing what I would call at this point fake statements from a fake family. I don't know if the kid that was called the N-word even has a family. For all we know, he's just running around the streets right now stealing stuff out of other people's diaper bags. And that's concerning too. Because who knows what that kid may be wrapped up in? Who knows who may be using that kid? But no one actually cares about that kid. All they care about is white people bad, she said the N-word. They don't care about the kid. If they did, they would want to know where in the hell is the kid and where is the family? So, over all of these weeks later, we're still kind of at square one when it comes to who the hell this family is and who the kid is. We're still at square one. Shiloh Hendrix already has gotten access to her money. They're demanding charges, yet still don't know who the victim actually is, despite saying that they've been in contact the entire time. So they're complete liars. They're raising money and I guess just taking it while pretending that it's going to some imaginary family. Absolutely disgusting behavior. It's to be expected from them. But what I expect from you all is to let me know how you feel about this down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all very soon at the next one.